Hi everyone, Dave here, Fit and Healthy Forever. This is just after Christmas time. This is the 28th of December, and I'm just thinking to myself that most people will have New Year's resolutions. They'll be looking at going on diets, perhaps exercising, joining gyms. So I just wanted to give a few tips here on the things that you should be looking at without just diving into the nearest thing. So if you consider some of these things, then I think it'll go a long way to helping you in your quest for, if it's a New Year's resolution or you just want to get fit or healthy or drop some weight. So I've called it New Year, New Diet, New You. Now, I'm always loath to call them diets. They should be eating plans, because a diet always suggests that you're restricting yourself, and I don't think you should be doing that. It's not sustainable. But anyway, we'll go on. First of all, any diet or eating plan must be healthy and sustainable over the long term. There's no use starving yourself on a seriously calorie restricted diet to lose a few pounds, because it's not sustainable and eventually you're going to have to come off it. So any calorie restricted diet can only be sustained in the short term. You will have to come off it one day, and science has proven that you will then put that weight back on and more. So what's happening is, when you severely restrict yourself with calories, you downgrade your metabolism, so you'll drop some more calories and it'll downregulate, and eventually you'll be so hungry and craving food that you will just come off it and go back on. Then your body is like a sponge. Because it's been restricted for several weeks, shall we say, it's going to suck up everything that you put in there. So you're going to be craving sugars, craving carbs, craving food, and you're going to just suck it all, and you'll put the weight back on and more. So it's not sustainable, it's not healthy, forget it, okay? Then when you eventually binge eat for so long, you'll think to yourself, I'll go back on that diet because it worked last time. No, if it worked last time, you wouldn't be going back on it. So it didn't work. You need to get that straight in your head as well. It's called yo-yo dieting, that is. So you're on it, you're off it, you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. So it's just not sustainable. And you ask yourself, if you've been on diets before, how many times and how long have you been on them for? They just don't work in the long term. They're not sustainable. If you understand that and get your head around that, then you can move on. With any eating plan, you need to know the type of calories, the type of macronutrients you're ingesting. So you need to know, for instance, how much fibre you're consuming. Fibre is very satiating. It's going to help you to feel full for longer. And you need it to help your digestive tract to stay clear and your stool to be normal. It's important that you get at minimum, very minimum, 25 grams of fibre a day. I get nearer 40, somewhere between 30 and 40, which seems to serve me at my purpose fine. You need to severely cut down your carbohydrates. Now, as soon as you cut carbs on any type of eating plan, you will lose weight, but it's predominantly water weight, because with carbohydrates, they hold a lot of water. So as soon as you're restricting them, the water weight alone will cause you to lose weight. Now, as I've said before, there's a difference between losing weight and losing fat. Fat has to be burned off, basically. Fluid weight, you can just restrict your carbs and you'll lose a few pounds on the scale, but it's not healthy, it's not sustainable, and it's not going to do you any good in the long term. So you need to severely cut carbs, but when you do that, you need to increase your healthy fats. That's going to keep you satiated. That's going to help you to not go hungry, not be craving foods all the time. The biggest problem society has today is eating high carbs and high fat. Now, any calories, no matter where they come from, over and above what your body needs in a day, will be stored as fat. So you need to plan this properly. So if you severely cut carbs, and if you need to eat carbs, use them around times when you're going to be active, whether it be a manual job, whether it be when you go running or cycling, or whether you go to the gym. But when you're most active, before and after, that's the only time you really need them. And if you're eating healthy fats as well, you shouldn't be craving carbs. So you need to balance this out better. Healthy fats are needed for numerous bodily processes. Now, I've covered this in a fats video before. You need to have a look at that because you need fat. Don't jump on this bandwagon of fats are bad for you. You don't need fat. You need to cut fats. You do not. The problem is when you're eating fats with carbohydrates, this is where they're both an energy source and your body only needs so much energy. And it's always going to prefer carbs because you've always eaten carbs all your life. So it's not the best fuel source, but it'll always go for it first because that's all it's ever been used to since you were born. So you need to balance this out. Severely cut your carbs, increase your healthy fats. Healthy fats from nuts, seeds, avocados, things like that, olive oils, coconut oils. They're satiating, as I say. So if, for instance, you're considering Weight Watchers or Slimming World, I did a little bit of research on Slimming World. Just as a for example, I hate the thought that I keep bashing these, but it's just not healthy and sustainable. If you look at the SIN system on Slimming World, it tells you in the booklet, I read it myself, that there's more SINs, a full day's SINs in an avocado or 2 handfuls of almonds than there is in a McDonald's apple pie. What does that tell you? That's suggesting that a McDonald's apple pie is better for you than an avocado or 2 handfuls of almonds. Absolutely ridiculous. Avocados is one of the superfoods. It's one of the best foods you can eat. It's got healthy fats, it's got fibre, it's got everything you need in there. Nuts the same, lots of fibre, lots of healthy fats. The only reason they're saying this that I can think of is because there's more fats in those things than there is in an apple pie. An apple pie has hydrogenated fats, trans fats usually, which are absolute no-no. They're toxic to your body. Think about this. Is it logical to you that an apple pie could be better for you than an avocado or some almonds, 2 handfuls of almonds? Ridiculous. Absolutely. You read the literature. If you've been to Slimming World, you'll know. This SIN system is ridiculous. So, the fats in these, as I say, are healthy. They're one of the things you should be getting. I have a full avocado every day, every single day. You can buy a pack of 4 ripe at home out of Aldi for £1 something, and you get 2 of them, £3, and they last you the week. It's just a no-brainer. From a health perspective, not all fats are created equal. I've covered this in a previous video on fats. If you're eating healthy fats, which I stress it, you must get healthy fats. Cut out your vegetable oils, your hydrogenated fats in cookies and biscuits and crisps and stuff like that. Don't get carried away that these things, because they say light, they're good for you. They're not. They're not a healthy food. Look at your food as a healthy nutrient that your body needs. You can treat yourself now and again to something that's not so good, yes, but it shouldn't be the core of your diet. So it's not just a case of lowering calories. You need to know what type of calories and macronutrients that you're ingesting and which are beneficial to your body and your health. As I said at the beginning of this, any eating plan should be healthy and sustainable. Get those 2 phrases into your head, healthy and sustainable. If they're not usually good for you. So, also with things like ready meals, when I looked at some in Iceland, the Slimming World ones. Anything that's pre-packed, tinned, canned, it's got to have a shelf life. To have a shelf life, it has to be high in salt and preservatives usually. That's normally the way to get a healthy shelf life out of a pre-prepared food. Now, as I've covered in salt intake in my previous video, high salt isn't necessarily detrimental to your body as long as your potassium is high. And what do you think is a high source of potassium? Avocados. Lots of salads, lots of vegetables, cream of tartar powder. If you're getting those things daily, don't worry about salt intake. And if you're eating lots of veg, lots of salads, it means you're probably not eating processed foods. So you don't need to worry about salt intake, because most of the Western world get their high salt from processed foods. It has to have salt in it to give it taste and the shelf life. Now, as I say, if you're eating a lot of processed food, you don't eat a lot of veg, you don't eat a lot of salads, then yes, worry about your salt intake, because it will be detrimental, because you're going to be taking massive amounts in. So be careful if you've got high blood pressure. If you're taking high salt intake, you need to clear this with your doctor first. Be prepared to spend time. These are the things you should be doing. Be prepared to spend time preparing food and not just grabbing what's available. If you think it's worth having a healthy and active body, then you need to be doing the right things. Don't just scrimp and say, oh, I'll grab a McDonald's on my way to work, or I'll have a Subway, or I'll have it. Prepare your own food so you know what you're ingesting. It's not difficult. So the other thing is, try intermittent fasting. Does it just fit everyone's lifestyle that I've spoken to, that it's very, very healthy for you. Very healthy. It's been proven. There's lots and lots of information. You go onto the internet or YouTube and type in intermittent fasting, there's bundles of information. And there's not one that says it's bad for you that I've seen. It isn't bad for you. The only thing I would suggest with any sort of eating plan, but particularly intermittent fasting and keto diet, you would have to moderate your alcohol intake. If you can't do that, forget all this. Just forget it, because you don't think your health's worth it. So you need to moderate your health and your alcohol intake. You can do that on intermittent fasting. You can do your fasting period from 1 till 9 at night, have a glass of wine after your evening meal or something like that, or a can. It doesn't mean you've got to give it up. It means you've got to moderate it, which you should be doing anyway. It's not healthy for you. Alcohol is pure sugar. So all you're doing is spiking your insulin. If you keep doing this, you're going to end up pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic. I've covered that in previous videos. Also, limit your starchy carbs to around times, as I said earlier, when you're most active, and try and buy organic things where possible. It's not always financially proper to do it, but if you can, do it. If not, buy the best quality you can. So if you eat porridge oats for your breakfast and you want to work out in the morning and have your breakfast, buy a decent make or organic. It's not that much dearer. So get proper good foods in you. Consume as much salad and veg as you want. Don't even think of limiting that, because that's where all your good nutrients are coming from. Be careful with fruits. There's certain fruits that, like bananas, are very high in sugar. But things like apples, pears, oranges, strawberries, blueberries, they're not so bad in moderation. So if you like your fruits, you can have fruits as well. But you've got to be very careful of how much you're ingesting, because basically fructose is a fruit sugar, and sugars are going to spike your insulin. It's all about controlling insulin with fat loss. So increase healthy fats like avocados, olive oil, coconut oil, nuts, seeds, eggs. Whole eggs, very, very good for you. One of the superfoods. Don't worry about the amount of calories in it, because it's got much more good stuff in than it has bad, and there's no bad stuff in it really. So go onto YouTube if you want to prepare and do your treats. And if you go into someone called Headbangers Kitchen, another one called let me have a look at my notes, MRNDZ, Dr. Eric Berg, Dr. Josh Axe, Thomas DeLauer. These give you lots and lots of low carb recipes, and a lot of them are no bake. They take no time at all, 10-15 minutes, and they're healthy treats that you can have during the day. I live on healthy treats, but they're all really good stuff in them. Coconut oil, peanut butter, raw cocoa, things like that. So you feel like you're cheating, but you're not really. It's all healthy stuff. So give it a try. Exercise regularly. One of the biggest things I've seen touted is walk for half an hour a day. Is what you can do just to improve your health, improve your energy levels, improve your digestion. So that's all it takes, half an hour a day, brisk walk. But if you want to go further than that, try cycling, swimming, Do exercise classes. If you're into the gym, go to the gym. If you're not into the gym, it's not everyone's cup of tea. You can do little workouts at home, but try and do something. Your body is designed to move. If you bus to work, get off and stop earlier and walk. If you drive to work, park a bit further away if possible and walk. It all contributes to a healthy lifestyle, and this is what you've got to look at. Don't just do crash diets that are going to last a few weeks, then you're going to put the weight back on and go back on, and you're just yo-yo dieting. They're not healthy, they're not sustainable. Forget them. Just forget them. Do this right this time. Do it right. Your body will thank you for it, I promise you. So, having said that, try everything you do, whether it's your food, your diet, your training, the exercise, try and enjoy it. To enjoy something means you're more likely to sustain it, and you're going to keep doing it, and you're going to make it a lifestyle. It just winds me up sometimes. I'm seeing on Facebook all the time people going Slimming World and Weight Watchers, and every start of the new year I'm joining the gym. Look, if you don't think you can sustain something, don't start it. Find something that you can sustain. Do your research, do your preparation. I've said this before. I read it somewhere. There's a reason Slimming World and Weight Watchers don't have yearly reunions or 2-year reunions or 5-year reunions, because most people don't keep the weight off. Think about it. You're restricting your body. With intermittent fasting, I'm suggesting you're not restricting your body of calories. All you're doing is restricting the eating time. You're restricting the time in which you eat food to probably 8 hours. But it doesn't restrict the amount of calories. I'm still taking in just shy of 3,000 calories a day of good quality food, and I'm barely maintaining my weight. You can eat to your heart's content good food, but you just have to do a bit of preparation, a bit of research, and do it right. Surely your body's worth it, your health's worth it. So, I wanted to get this out there. If anyone's got any questions, please inbox me, message me. I just want people to be fit and healthier. We've got enough that the Western world is as sick as it can ever be. As an animal species, if you saw elephants or tigers or any animal species that were dying at the rate we are dying, you'd want to do something about it. Most people, they'd be saying, oh, we must address this. The humans are dying at early ages, and a lot of it's to do with lifestyles, health, fitness, diet, and nobody's looking at it. They're just giving you tablets and drugs and surgery and medication. Try and do something for yourself, please. Just make the effort. It's well worth it, I can promise you. Like anything else, it doesn't guarantee anything, but while you're on this planet, it guarantees that you will have a healthier lifestyle. You can do the things you want to do. I don't want to be on this planet for another 20, 30 years if I've got to rely on doctors' medications, sitting in surgeries, having medications and stuff. I want to be able to do things for myself, and you should be the same. So again, it always ends in a rant, I know, but I just want people to do the right things and be healthy. So as always, thanks a bundle for everyone who listens. I really do appreciate anyone that's listening, and all I'm asking is try these things, and if they're not suitable or they don't work or whatever, come back and tell me and we can discuss it. So until the next video, stay fit and healthy forever, do your best, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.